Hello. Hi, y'all. How's it going? Welcome to Friday Night Frights. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? All right, we are going to hear the true story of Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, and Vlad the Impaler, the real Dracula. Come on in and start a chat. The first story takes us all the way back to 1560 in Hungary. In a grand castle perched upon the misty mountains, a baby girl was born. Her name was Elizabeth Bathory, and she was born into a powerful, noble family, one of the wealthiest in the land. Elizabeth wasn't like other children. While other kids chased goats and played in the fields, Elizabeth wandered castle halls, listening to servants gossip about wars and things children shouldn't hear. Some stories claim she witnessed harsh punishments on the estate, terrible things that would twist any child's view of right and wrong. Well, Elizabeth learned to have a fierce temper, and if she wanted something, she wanted it right then. However, she was clever, beautiful, and used to getting her way. When she was 15, she married a wealthy soldier who was gone most of the time, leaving Elizabeth to tend to the castle, a towering stone fortress with underground tunnels and echoing chambers. Elizabeth was strict, very strict. Some maids said she could be kind one day and terrifying the next. Over the years, whispers drifted out of the castle like cold drafts. Servants disappeared. New girls were hired and never seen again. Nobody spoke openly. Nobody dared, because Elizabeth was the Blood Countess with enormous power. For a long time, no one questioned her because the missing girls were peasants. But when the girls from noble families began to disappear, people started to gossip. And in 1610, an investigator gathered statements from the townspeople and terrified servants. They described a castle full of fear, strange rituals, and cruel punishments. One, one icy night in December 1610, the investigators stormed into Elizabeth's castle and found injured girls and even some bodies. Elizabeth allegedly tortured and murdered hundreds of young women, supposedly bathing in their blood to retain her youth. She was put on house arrest and spent the last 4 years of her life sealed inside a room of in her own castle. Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, died in August 1614, insisting she had done nothing wrong. And that was the story of Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess. And next we have Vlad the Impaler, Dracula. Long ago, in 1431, in Transylvania, a boy was born into the world of knights, invasions, and dangerous politics. His name was Vlad, and he would grow into one of the most infamous rulers in history. Vlad's father was Vlad II Dracul, a member of an elite knightly order called the Order of the Dragon. Young Vlad grew up in a land constantly attacked by the mighty Ottoman Empire. Over the years, Vlad learned to speak different languages, strategy, and diplomacy, but he also saw torture, betrayal, and brutality. When Vlad finally claimed the throne, he ruled with an iron fist, strict discipline, and absolutely no tolerance for betrayal. And when he punished someone, he made sure the whole country knew what happened. It wasn't a secret. Vlad wanted people to know. He believed fear was the strongest law, and stories spread everywhere about forests of wooden stakes, bandits impaled for robbery, and nobles punished for disloyalty. One of Vlad's boldest moves came in 1462 when a massive army invaded. He knew he couldn't fight them head on, so Vlad used the element of surprise, stealth, and fear. Late one night, he and his men slipped into the Ottoman camp, burning tents, shouting false commands, and attacking officers. It was a daring strike that became legendary. When the enemy pressed forward, they found 20,000 impaled bodies lining the road to Vlad's castle. The sight was so horrifying that the enemy turned back, deciding Vlad was too unpredictable and too dangerous. Vlad, however, was killed in battle in 1476, and centuries later, tales of Vlad's cruelty mixed with mystery and superstition live on. In the 1800s, Bram Stoker borrowed the name Dracula for his fictional vampire. But the real Vlad was no vampire. He was a fierce, brutal, brilliant ruler forged with betrayal, war, and a world where mercy was a luxury few could afford. And those were the stories of Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, and Vlad the Impaler, the real Dracula. Well, thanks for joining me on Friday Night Frights. I will see you guys soon. Y'all have a good night. Stay awesome. Bye.